Look at those tacos. I honestly don't think I've seen anything more beautiful. And these aren't just any tacos. They're birria tacos, the best tacos ever. So today, I'm going to show you how to make the most magnificent dish. I promise you won't regret this. So I'm gonna stop talking. Well, I have to continue talking to tell you how to make it. But let's just get into it. Alright, so starting off, you're going to need your trays of meat. I'm using beef chuck. I got some mozzarella cheese, bone broth, vegetable broth, corn tortillas, some garlic, peppercorn, onion, bay leaves, chile de árbol, guajillo chiles, New Mexico chile pods, cumin, oregano, and salt. So the first thing we're going to do is de-seed our peppers. And let me just say, this is my least favorite part. It takes up too much time. I just wanted to get to the fun parts. But, you gotta do what you gotta do. And also, just a piece of advice, please wear gloves while doing this. I didn't think this through, clearly, and I ended up with stained fingers, and that was not fun. It also is not fun if I accidentally touch my eye. Moving on. So another thing that I want to mention is that these peppers aren't spicy. So if that's been going through your head, you have nothing to worry about if spicy foods aren't your thing. But a little disclaimer, the chiles de árbol, which are the tiny bright red ones, they actually are spicy. So if you don't like spicy foods, you might want to limit the amount that you use. Alright, this is getting very boring, so we're just gonna fast forward through all of this. And we're done! Finally! So once you're finished de-seeding your peppers, you want to go ahead, give them a good rinse, then pat them dry. Next, we're going to peel our garlic and onion, then cut the onion in half and set it aside with everything else. Now we're going to get started with our meat. I'm using some cubed beef chuck, but you can use a whole chuck roast if you'd like. I just find that using the cubed ones makes my life a bit easier. You could even substitute the beef with lamb or chicken if that's what you'd prefer. I will say though, I made a version of this with chicken and it wasn't as good. Okay, so since no one else is gonna say it, why is it taking me so long to take the beef out of the package? It's taking me longer than it took Nevada to count the votes. This is insane. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny too. Anyway, after taking my sweet time with the... Okay, yeah, that was nasty. Now we're gonna go ahead and pat dry our meat and then lightly season with salt and pepper. Next, we're gonna go ahead and sear our roast in a pot of oil just to get a bit more flavor in our stew. Once we've seared both sides, then we're gonna add in our liquids. Here, I'm adding the entire container of vegetable broth. Next, I added in 2 cups of bone broth, and then I filled the remainder of the pot with water, which I forgot to film. Once we finish adding in all our liquids, we're going to go ahead and add in our bay leaves, our garlic cloves, our onion, and our chiles. And then we're going to cover and let it simmer on medium-high heat for about 20 to 30 minutes. Alrighty, so after 30 minutes, we're going to remove all of our veggies and our aromatics from the pot, and we're going to add it to a blender. And now this is kind of a process, and it was a bit tricky trying to get everything out, especially trying to fish out all of the garlic cloves. So just take your time and make sure you get everything out. You may have to strain everything, at least I had to, but whatever process works best for you. Once you've successfully removed everything, then you're going to add a few spoons of the broth to the blender. Now we're going to season our sauce with some oregano, cumin, salt, peppercorns, and some other spices of my choice. And then it's time to blend. Alrighty, once the sauce is a smooth consistency, we can stop blending and then we're going to add it back to our pot with our beef. But hopefully I can get this lid off first.
2 hours later.
Finally, I got it open. Alright, so at this point you can go ahead and test the consistency of your sauce and also give it a taste. Make sure it's to your liking. If you feel like it needs more salt, go ahead and add that. But I also want to note that if you feel that it's too spicy for you, you can actually add in some carrots and blend that, and it'll really balance out the spice level. Now, as you can see, I'm using a fine sieve to add in my sauce, and that's just to ensure that there aren't any clumps going in with our meat. Once we've added all our sauce, we're going to cover our pot and let our meat cook for about 3 hours on medium heat or until it's tender. So now, after what felt like 10 years, we're going to go ahead and remove our meat from the pot, and then we're going to go ahead and shred it. Once we finish shredding our meat, we're going to add it back to our broth. And now is the time where we're going to have some fun. So what we're going to do now is heat up a pot with oil, and then we're going to take our corn tortillas and we're going to dip it in our broth or our consomme, and then we're just going to fry it. Yes, this is very unhealthy, but we are not going to think about this right now. We're just going to enjoy the fact that we get to indulge, and then we'll think about our poor decisions afterwards. Next, we're going to get our mozzarella cheese, and we're going to add an unhealthy amount to each tortilla, and we're just going to allow it to melt. Once we've added all our cheese, we're going to go ahead and add our meat on top of that. Yes, I told you we were going to have fun. This entire dish is already so unhealthy, so we might as well go ahead and add more cheese. I mean, come on, it's only right. After a few minutes of frying, just check on your tortillas, and once they're crispy, they are ready to come out. Just look at that cheese pull. My goodness, I really hope I've convinced you to make these tacos. We're just gonna go ahead and speed things up because I don't know about you, but I'm starving and I cannot wait to eat these. Once we finish frying everything, we're gonna go ahead and serve some of our consomme. Then we're going to go ahead and plate everything, and would you take a look at that? I added some pico de gallo and cilantro on top of mine, and I sliced some lime to go with it as well. And now for my favorite part, dip your tacos in the consomme and enjoy. I really hope that you make this, and I hope that you enjoy it.